With the 5.5 banners are now being officially released, it might actually be a good idea to skip these banners, and I'm going to go through in this video as to why you might need to skip these banners. Before we get into that, guys, just want to let you know the new 16,000 Primogem giveaway has now begun for VARESA or any future characters you want to. You just get 16,000 Primogems in your account. Click the top link in the description if you would like to enter. And if you want 25% off your Genesis crystals, click the second link. All you have to do is buy a Welkin or whatever one you want to get, put your UID in, your server, and it gets sent instantly to your account once you purchase it. Okay, so first of all, let's get into why you might not actually want to pull in 5.5 at all, alright? So first of all is obviously the upcoming banners. So 5.6, 5.7, who's coming out? So 5.6, we know Effie or Afeki, or actually, here's some new updated information. Here is her actual confirmed new name, Escoffia. Alright, that's going to be her name in-game. I'm going to show you guys on the screen somewhere as to what that looks like written down. So in 5.6, we have Scoffia, Emily, Knish, and Sino. We aren't sure on the phases yet, but you can expect to see those characters. Then in 5.7, we don't have any confirmed rerun characters, but we do know that Skirk is coming out, okay? So with this information that we know these two new characters are coming up, it really brings the question, should you skip 5.5 or pull for it? And obviously, if you really want a character coming out in those banners, go for it. But I'm talking in a DPS and kind of like a strategic type of way. If you don't really care about the characters and you only care about how good they are, then this is essentially that. So we know VARESA's damage is probably going to be compared to maybe a Raiden Shogun on that level. It's not going to be anything insane that we've ever seen before from Electro. We also have Zarnyun coming out, which is a good support. We also have Zilonen, a very good support. This would be actually the only character I would suggest pulling on this banner. And then we have Venti. And here, guys, is the official banner for 5.5. It's Yansan, Chevreuse, and Gaming, okay? And that's obviously on both banners, all right? And here is a big reason why you need to skip 5.5. VARESA looks like she's been planted to make players summon for her when she isn't actually going to be that top performer. Don't get me wrong, she's going to be an incredible main DPS. She's going to deal lots of damage. But if we look at 5.6 at Afeki, or her new name Escoffia, if you want to call her, well, let's just look at her kit first of all. All right, so she's a 5-star cryo polearm user. Her E, automatic off-field coordinated attack, 1 hit per second dealing single target damage, and 3 hit cryo application every 2.5 seconds. And its damage is comparable to Farina in a similar setup. So it's kind of like a cryo Farina in a way, okay? The Q instantly heals the entire team, followed by continuous single target healing, and the healing scales off attack. And the passive talent, if the team only consists of Hydro and Cryo characters, it reduces both Hydro and Cryo res by 45%. Now, and here's where things get even more interesting, guys. So if you skip 5.5, you might have enough for a C1, maybe. A C1 would absolutely be insane, okay? So a C1 passive talent condition changes. You can actually remove one of those Hydro or Cryo characters. You only need 3 of them, okay? And this changes everything, because that means you can add a Bennett in, or you could add a really insane Pyro DPS to add into that Hydro and Cryo damage. Think about this. It's going to be a constant freeze team or melt team, okay? And this is different than Farina because we're going to be able to freeze enemies continuously without fail. And it says the C2 to C6 just boosts all her damage, and the C6 damage is comparable to a C6 Farina. Think about the buffs for all the cryo main DPS characters. Say if you can't get C1, right, and you only get C0, well, you know, you only get the character, right? You can still be insane with Garnu, New Valette, you know what I mean? Those type of characters are going to be buffed immensely like you've never seen before. If you have Farina already and you pair a Farina, Escoffia or Afeki, and you add a New Valette in and maybe a Xingqiu, imagine that. Oh my gosh. And guys, this isn't where it stops. Who do we have in 5.7? Skirk. So who do you think is going to be the perfect support for Skirk? It's literally Afeki or Escoffia. And they've done this in such a smart way. They've done it right before Skirk. Like we've seen many times before, this is what Mihoyo usually does. And it's so smart because players really want to pull for a new character right now. Especially with the Natlan characters, VARESA's coming out. A really good Electro main DPS. when a Feki or a Scoffia comes out, people aren't going to realize how much they missed out and how good she actually was. Everyone's saying a Feki or Effie is a skip banner, but little do they know. Guys, when was the last time we had such a good support like this? Such a good healing support as well, to add to that. Not only does she scale off attack for her healing, which is insane, she's also cryo. And she heals, and she's a support. Like, come on. She might be S tier. She probably will be S tier. Okay, guys, and now let's look at the Skirk kit. Okay, and this is where things change even more and get even crazier, because now we know the Escoffia or a Feki kit. We can now look at the Skirk kit and see how much crazier it gets. So her skill mechanism is called Clone. It summons a clone mirror and it imitates the body's original behavior and all of its attacks essentially. And after she activates E, she first summons a clone, and then like Chiori, you will have two different modes if you choose normal or Q. If you choose normal attack, this mode is a very high frequency normal attack, and the clone will imitate the original body's attack. After choosing Q, she will work together with the clone summoned by E to attack with a high multiplier, the same effect as Mavuika, and then immediately switch to the next person, and the clone will stay on the field indirectly attacking with a high multiplier with a very low frequency. And the guy said, I don't know about the constellations, but there should be something like a +1 clone. You will have an extra clone. Hopefully that's on C1, guys. Imagine you have... That's going to be, essentially, you're going to have 3 of your characters on the field all attacking at once. Skirk's going to be insane. Also mentions also her energy is definitely 0 by default. Whether she really does not need energy or needs special energy is not important. I think this thing is just made for hyper specialized artifacts and weapons. And the person that wrote this, some guy asks them, excuse me, does the clone attack apply cryo? The guy says yes. How insane is this, guys? So... not only are we going to have a perma freeze team with a Feki, Farina, pair that up with a Nuvolette, even add Skirk in or a Xingqiu, right? We're going to have 3 clones if you get the C1, or whatever constellation it will be, or even just 2 clones constantly attacking different enemies on the field that are frozen in freeze, right? Or even with a melt team. This character is just insane. So guys, it looks like we actually have 2 S tier characters coming up. Escoffia and Skirk, right? Do you think that you can pull in 5.5 and get both of these characters, Skirk and Escoffia? That's the problem. That's the problem where we run into, okay? So it all comes down to, if you have the money, go for it. You can probably pull for Zillion and, you know, maybe VARESA, whatever character you wanted to get in 5.5. If you're free to play, on the other hand, it's different story. If you have some pity built up and you have a lot of Primogem saved, maybe. Really hope this information has been drilled into your brain a bit more to help you realize the circumstances of these upcoming characters. Click on the notification bell and turn it on all for my channel so you never miss any updates. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like, subscribe. See you in the next video, which will be tomorrow. Upload every day. Peace.